Hello, everyone. This is Linda Ferguson,
And Karen Nelson Bell.
and welcome to another episode of Platinum Prime for Life, your show where Karen and I share our tips, our tricks, our topics of interest to help you live a Platinum Prime life. All right, so today Karen's chosen a topic which I think is one you need to consider. And so with that, I'm actually going to let her introduce the topic to us all. And we shall find some interesting things out about this particular discussion. Take it away.
Thanks, Linda. Certain things become interesting and important to you as decades add up. Things that you never thought you would care about or be interested in at all suddenly become kind of important. And this happened to me in March. At my birthday, I had to renew my driver's license. And above the age of 80 in Florida, to renew your driver's license, you have to pass an eye test, and I couldn't pass it. So I had to go to an eye doctor, and they said that I have what's called macular degeneration. Macular means referring to the macula, which is the very, very last back part of your eye, and a little teeny tiny blood vessel had burst back there, and it was causing me to not be able to read well, causing my night vision to be poor, and I had actually noticed myself before I ever even went for the test that I didn't feel comfortable driving at night. I had 3 near mishaps that could have been very treacherous. And I thought to myself, I need to stop driving at night. Well, so the question came to my mind is, how do we know when we should stop driving? And the question really isn't about driving. It's about the question isn't how long can I drive? Because there are people who can drive into their they're in their 90s and they're still driving and able to do so well. But are you willing to look at it, and are you willing to evaluate for yourself before somebody evaluates for you? I didn't want somebody to come and take away my car keys. I thought I will take away my car keys before somebody else does. But the point is not how long can I drive. The point is, how long can I stay independently mobile? Because mobility is one of the hallmarks of graceful aging. Our bodies need to still be mobile, and we want to have that independence to go where we want and be with our friends and go get groceries when we feel like it, not waiting for somebody to deliver it to us. And it's a condition of wanting that mobility for as long as we can have it. So the question became, when do you take grandma's keys away? And when do you voluntarily say to yourself, I'm willing to look at it and I'm willing to do what I have to do, whether it be let somebody else drive or whether I have to limit my driving at night. And it becomes really, really important. Your eyesight and your vision become really important to you. And with age comes various things, not only macular degeneration, but cataracts and things that deprive you of being able to be independent. So, Linda,
Yes.
how will you know when it's time to take grandma's car keys away from her?
Well, I'm a grandma, so.
Oh, you are a grandma.
But
That's right. You are a grandma. But I don't
am a
perceive
grandma.
that we need to take your car keys yet. But how?
No, but let's actually just switch this around a bit because first of all, you and I both believe in self-responsibility, like living our lives proactively, but also being able to self-evaluate when, going water skiing may not be the best thing for how our bodies are existing at a particular moment.
Right.
So it's living life intentionally and living life in a way that you get to do what you want to do, but you also want to consider keeping those around you safe. And the reason this even came up at all is because we were talking. I'm traveling right now, so I am being a grandma, as a matter of fact. And there was a situation here where someone who's just super healthy and vital has had eye issues. And he gave my son his mountain bike because his eyes weren't functioning well enough for him to be able to have good depth perception. And so going off the road on a mountain bike was not safe for him anymore. And then things deteriorated for him and he just stopped driving altogether because he couldn't trust his eyes to do what he needed to have them do. What is, so the question is, when do you voluntarily decide that it's not safe for you to do something? And you gave me just your own points of choice for yourself when you decided that, hey, I don't feel safe driving at night anymore because of, and you talked about the 3 incidents that happened. The lovely other side of that, though, is you started really addressing it with some nutritionals that you should actually share with people because I think that's exciting that helped restore that. Is it macula? What is it called? I don't actually
The
even
back
know.
side of your eye is called the macula, and people
Okay.
can have dry MD. You see ads for it on TV, and drugs that you can take and this and that. And I have what's called wet MD. I don't know the difference between wet and dry, but I know that there are supplements that you can take that improve your eyesight, and there are shots that you can take. So I began taking a shot in my eye. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? A shot in your
Mm-mm.
eye.
Sounds horrible. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't hurt at all. Once you get over the first ever shot is very scary, but it actually doesn't hurt at all because they numb you up
Oh,
so well that by the
okay.
time it comes to the actual shot, you don't feel it, not at all, not at all. So it's not too much of a problem. So between the first shot and the second shot, they're 6 weeks apart. I didn't have any change in my vision. Now, by the way,
Mm,
before I go on with that piece of it, I want to say that the story about the mountain bike is really interesting because w- it, your vision is not just can you read the letters on an eye chart, because it has to do with depth, like you said, depth perception,
uh,
peripheral vision,
uh,
how you are balanced. It affects your balance, a lot of other things besides just being able to read the street sign. So um, I thought that was an interesting point, that it isn't, you don't know, you could have 20/20 vision per the eye chart, but still not be really good with your nighttime driving or your anytime driving. It depends on a lot of other things besides just reading the letters on a chart. So anyway, between the first 2 shots, 6 weeks apart, I had no visible change, no improvement. I I thought I was gonna. I really went into it thinking I would do well, and I'm taking the supplements that the doctor recommended. It's a combination of different nutritionals and that are specifically for eye health, and I do that. I take it religiously, and you're supposed to wear sunglasses. I have a hard time wearing sunglasses because I can't see very well with sunglasses. So, and I
okay.
and I live in Florida. I don't know. I'm having a hard time doing that. You need to really exercise a lot, which I already did. So, and you need to eat well, and which I already did. So, I had those things going for me. So, between the second shot and the third shot, I did something different. I have a supplement that came from Europe. It's new to the United States. It's only been here for a couple of years. And I had heard people had great success with their cataracts and with their macular degeneration, their MD, and they'd been putting it on their eyelids. So I began putting it on my eyelids. So between my second shot and my third shot, I got 50% reduction in the swelling in my eyes. Now I can't tell you that it's because I put the cream on, because I also had the shot. And maybe I don't know the answer. I don't want to say, oh, this caused that, because I'm
Hmm,
not certain of it. However, it is
okay.
the only thing I changed in the second 6 weeks. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm still doing the cream I rub it on my eyelids and under my eyelids, and I put it like kind of in the corners so that it goes into the tear ducts a little bit. And I don't know. I don't know. But here's the beautiful thing. Since my last shot, and since I'm still doing this do-it-yourself solution, I actually can read things that I could read before, and my night vision has returned. And I think I'm able to drive at night, because I was in situations where I had to drive at night. I still could drive as long as there were nice, bright, white lines on the side of the road, and it was a
Right.
place where I knew where I was, and it was big street lights. Now I seemed like I've got my night vision back, and I can read again. So I'm very, very anxious to go for my next test and see where I'm at. But just from the experience, I can tell you I've regained my former vision. Now I have interocular implants. I got those in 1997, which means I'll never have cataracts, because I have fake lenses inside, so that they will never be covered over, which is really interesting. And the doctor said my lenses look really good. They've held up nicely since 1997. That's almost 20 years? Almost. That's almost 30 years? It's 29 years?
Since 1997? Yeah.
Yeah.
20.
Is that 30 years or 20 years?
30.
97, 07, 17, 27. It's 29 years. So, and this eye reads close and this eye sees distance, but to me, I just see. It's really nice. It's really nice. But it is something of concern to seniors, because the eyes, they slow down. I don't know. They just do. And we start to I have readers everywhere. Somebody told me yesterday, they said, I had readers on. I was at choir practice. And somebody said, oh, you have a little tag over there on your reader. I said, yeah, that's because I have like 20 pairs of readers all around the house at different levels of intensity. So my $1 readers, funny. So one is 2.75 and one is 4.0.
So it's great news on your eyes recovering. And if anyone's interested in how Karen did what she did for herself, knowing that all things are personal to the person, but hey, if it worked for her and you have a similar situation, just DM her, direct message her, and ask her what she was using, and she'll be happy to tell you.
Oh yeah, of course.
So our discussion was, when do you know? When do you know that it's time? Because whatever perception we're dealing with, it could be sound, it could be eyes, it could be aspects of things that you have perceptions dimming, which is very common as our bodies get older. Stuff happens. Hearing, you can have cataracts, lots of things. When should you take yourself back from doing things as robustly as you might have done earlier? And what if you didn't actually extract this? It's practical advice, but it's when you stop feeling safe doing an activity, then just dial it back a little. Very smart for everyone, for yourself especially. At the same time, don't take yourself out of the game. See if you can fix whatever it is that's like limiting you. And Karen is such a great example of this. She keeps herself fit. She keeps herself well fed. So she's not eating completely wrong. I think she cheats every once in a while, but who knows?
No.
She may not.
No, I know. I'm in my ninth year with no sugar.
Well, that's one form of cheating. You could eat too much. Whatever. Let's just say she's not perfect. Okay. Anyway.
One thing, let me give for the sight thing. Let me just say that there are some things that you could pay attention to. Pay attention to: are you finding that the car has little dings and bumps and bruises that you can't explain? Like you might have run up over a curb. Do you occasionally run up over a curb that you didn't expect to run up over? Are are you getting any traffic warnings? That would be another thing for you to notice. Are you getting some traffic warnings? And are people afraid to ride with you? Has anybody ever said anything to you? So these are ways that you will know if you aren't paying attention. How I knew was in the middle of the night, I made a left turn to go across a divider to get on to the part of the street that I needed to be on, and I didn't. I turned into oncoming traffic.
Oh.
Fortunately, there was no oncoming traffic, and I was able to retreat and correct my mistake. But what if there had been oncoming traffic? I considered that was the moment that it said, Karen, you better think this through. And so there are signs that you can pay attention to. I just, it's not like a mystery. It's not a mystery. And the same thing happens if you have somebody in your family that you have to have a conversation with. Maybe show them this video. Maybe, because it isn't the loss of the car driving. It's the loss of independent mobility.
Right. Freedom. All right. And with that, great advice all the way around. Fortunately, I don't have that situation yet. And I'm, I know, hopefully, but I do wear glasses.
And neither do I.
So just apply it to yourself if it is something that is applicable to you. And if you notice that you have friends or loved ones who really should consider whether or not they should be driving, just share this video with them or mention it. When's the last time we had a driving test? And with that, we are going to wrap up this week's episode of Platinum Prime for Life. We want you with us for a good long time yet, and this advice can definitely help that happen. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have an amazing week, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.